Isabella von Carstein.
Hello and welcome to Warhammer 3. Today we're going to be playing as the Vampire Counts, more specifically as Isabella of Sylvania. And the reason for Vampire Counts is this is my second playthrough. I want to play something that harshly contrasts Tyrion and the High Elves. The Vampire Counts don't have archers as opposed to Tyrion's archer spam. Isabella specifically has a focus on hero units on vampires, and I largely ignored heroes in my previous campaign, so that'll be a good change of pace. And geographically, we're in a completely different section of the map to what I was playing last time. Now, because Vlad and Isabella are basically the same campaign, I should address why I'm playing Isabella instead. Vlad gets campaign movement range instead of that hero focus, and like I said, I want to contrast my previous playthrough. However, there's also some hidden differences that are worth mentioning that I think make Vlad much worse. One is that for some reason the legendary Lord Vlad doesn't get the Blood Drinker passive and has less regeneration than the hero Vlad, and that just seems like a mistake. Maybe it's like given to him by an item or something, or I've got no idea, but he doesn't start with it, that's for damn sure. And neither does Isabella if she's your hero. So legendary hero Vlad is actually notably tankier, at least at the start of the campaign, in faster fights. Additionally, however, this starting army is wrong. It's right for Vlad, but for Isabella, these two units change into a bad ghoul infantry and a Varghulf, which has siege attacker. And the point of campaign movement range is to move around and kill things, take land. But having a siege attacker early means I can split it off into my secondary army and actually conquer faster with Isabella. So as far as I can tell, due to the army disparity, Isabella's just kind of better right now. And I almost forgot, coming over to campaign settings, we're going up to hard and hard. And the descriptions for these is also sort of being let slide by this small indie company that's making this. Because you would think you can't issue orders when paused on legendary difficulty, but I assure you that on hard, you can't even pause the game, making it very hard to issue commands. Since you hit escape and go into the menus, you can't pause on this setting already. Speaking of, I really enjoy how part of hard battle difficulty is removing the balance of power slider, because nothing's harder than bad UI. Anyway, for in-game crisis, we're going to be cranking the strength by 25%, we're going to turn off vampires. I intend to do this every single campaign until we've seen all of them, crank the difficulty by another notch, and turn off the ones we've seen. And we're turning advisor frequency down to low, because even though I'm still new to the game, high advice frequency is actually just harassment. What's not harassment is hitting the like and subscribe buttons. That's actually something I would greatly appreciate you doing, because if you could tell the algorithm that this video is hot shit and actually get it to be shown to other people, I'd really appreciate that. And there's really no better way to impress the algorithm than to leave meme comments about how I messed up by picking Isabella instead of Vlad the Chad. So getting into the campaign, here's the Varghulf that's not shown on the starting page. And here is the trait I was talking about with Vlad, Blood Drinker, that just doesn't show up on the Legendary Lord or Legendary Hero versions of Vlad and Isabella. And here is Dieter the Stickler, a dead man walking. And I suppose that sentence works in more ways than one. We'll be fighting this manually because there's basically no chance of us taking any casualties or even meaningful wounds. So most of these units are strictly unnecessary. We're only going to be using our heroes, our Lord, and the Varghulf itself. And our first step here is that we need to snipe the enemy Lord. Everything in this army basically does nothing. Look at zombies. Armor 0, attack 5, trait meat shield. It doesn't do anything, it just tells you what it's for. As far as the unit goes, the zombies are as close to just being time in unit form as you can possibly get. Skeletons aren't that much better, they are real units, but this guy doesn't have any, so it's sort of a moot point. Graveguard are very much real units, but they can't do shit to my lords, they're so much weaker than them. The only risk here is that the zombies bog down my heroes, and that their hero is busy like beating the shit out of me and we can't kill him quickly as a result of just having all this chaff getting in the way. So I think what I want to do is run the Varghulf in front of the army to try to distract the army, because it's going to keep knocking the hero on the ground, making it harder to kill. And as you can tell by the way I'm talking, I've run test campaigns for this. I've got like 3 or 4 hours into a test campaign before being like, all right, I think I get this. And we have contact. We found him in the woods. We're going to run over here and start cycle charging this. Start pulling to the right here. We really don't want to be stuck in the zombies. We want to be fighting him properly. And what spells do we have? We definitely want to debuff him. I don't think we start with any spells on our wizard, do we? We have Soul Leech twice. Oh, okay, we have the trait that is, I forget its name. It's like Dark Arts Master or something to that effect. I don't know if I think Master of the Dark Arts is better or worse than just the generic combat traits. It seems very, very good. And we're gonna keep using Spirit Leech on this guy because he needs to be done. And if the Graveguards are just all focused on this guy while I cycle charge, that's fine by me. Although it looks like they're just willing to join the melee and stand behind the zombies and patiently wait their turn. The Varghulf does have regeneration, but it also has bad armor unlike the heroes, so it's going to take way more damage if I actually engage with the melee. Make sure they're trying to hit him, check out whether these cooldowns are back, not even close. But he's almost dead. We've actually been getting pretty good contact with him. There we go. At this point, you two can leave the fight. You don't have regeneration. And to that end, I'm actually going to drop healing spells on both of them to try to have them at full for the next fight. Because Vlad can basically solo everything that's left. Seriously, Isabella, I know you're a tank, but you need to leave. Let her fight that, let the Varghulf come help with the dogs, keep giving Isabella run commands and put it at triple speed. Make sure the Varghulf doesn't get overwhelmed too badly. Cool. They're both out. Varghulf, make sure you don't get surrounded either. And you two just walk all the way back to the army. And we'll be cycle charging the Varghulf until the fight ends, which will not be too long because without their leader... Hey guys, cool walk command I issued. I really enjoy how you tried. If the dogs want to fight them, they're going to be faster, so we're just going to run down the dogs real quick. Cool, that'll be the dogs broken. They'll crumble fairly soon from this. And now for real, please leave this time. And we'll just cycle charge the Varghulf to make sure these don't actually ever catch up, while Vlad handles the grave guards. I assume the grave guards are still alive. Oh no, one's over here. But yeah, the rest of this is fairly one-sided now that it's just Vlad against the world and a cycle charging Varghulf. Although it would be more effective if I weren't in the woods, because you can see him sort of clipping into all the trees and getting stuck over and over again. However, this zombie is not in the trees, and that's a crippling defensive disadvantage for it. I imagine that even though the Varghulf is probably the least important part of this fight, that all the heroes sniping the enemy lord was important, Vlad dealing with the grave guard mostly by himself, the Varghulf's gonna come out of this with like 300 kills from cycle charging zombies outside the forest. Hey Vlad, make a point to get out of the woods so that the Varghulf can do better. Alright, cool. Now the Varghulf can participate much more. Oh, it's over. Well, it's not like it wasn't participating meaningfully to begin with. Vlad actually getting almost 200 kills, still outdoing the Varghulf despite the cycle charging. These two doing enough. I could have got them back to full health, but I wasn't paying a ton of attention because they'll be back at full health at the end of the turn anyway. A, from passive regeneration, but B, from the next fight where they will be regenerating in combat. We take money every single time we get into a fight like that because we're very tight on money right at the start of this. And we are going to level these people up because you get very important skills when you start off on Vlad and Isabella, which is the hunger, regeneration while in melee combat. Vlad doesn't really need it since he has Blood Drinker, but Isabella desperately needs it. It looks like this is a darkness character, which isn't the best. I really enjoy having Spirit Leech for sniping lords in the early game, but this entire first tree just feels very, very shit to me. I wonder, does life leeching trigger off of my bound Spirit Leech, meaning that it generates 2.5 free magic? Pretty cool if it does. Because this unit's always going to be in armies with Vlad and Isabella, they're going to be casting spells using the lore of vampirism way more often than this character is. I think the way to go is to make them a melee tank and just have them palling around capping points in the melee. I don't think I need to upgrade Spirit Leech, although I am tempted to do it, and someday I will just for the additional magic reserves for the actual casters in the army. But I don't think I value any of the spells I was looking at just now. Anyway, on to the next fight. Eshin doesn't stand a chance. We'll be healing in this, but little there is to heal at least. As you can see, before the fight's even started, we've got our vampire healed up back to full, and Isabella and Vlad are just gonna power couple through this whole ass army on their own. They really don't need the Varghulf's help, but I will participate, cycle charge with it. It'll just get to the battle a little bit faster, save me some time in real life, and get some experience on the Varghulf for later fights, which, you know, might matter. But as you can see, no one's losing health. Well, someone is, they're just not on my side of the battle. So I'll go ahead and cut to the end of this because you can already see how the whole damn thing's gonna go. Chaff like this doesn't stand a chance against the strongest power couple in the game. So that was brutally one-sided. Literally no damage taken on my units. 230 kills on the Varghulf, 200 on Vlad, 130 on Isabella. Literally nothing done by the enemy side. We healed during that. Which is the expected result anytime we have vampire counts up against garbage armies, so, you know, minor settlements. And we're going to be occupying this to avoid damaging anything here, obviously. We don't want any garrison buildings. Or sorry, not garrison buildings, military buildings. We're perfectly happy to take normal basic skeletons. Even though I'm a big fan of making the vampire doomstack, it's going to take a hot second to be able to afford it. Like one extra turn, not a lot, but a little bit. So starting it now is probably not for the best. We'll run out of money pretty immediately. We will begin upgrading the size in Castle Drakenhof, though. On Isabella, I think I'm going to take the Restless Dead and then start pushing down spells immediately afterwards. That makes sense to me. On our commandment, we're taking Foster Terror for growth and also to save money next turn. That saves a ton of money specifically on that landmark building for the vampires I'm not touching yet. We're gonna go for the Lamian Book of Blood. I'm not sure what of this is best. I spent a while looking at it. It all feels very minor to me, but a lot of the stuff in here says increase the amount of money you make, and I mean, sign me up. More money is more armies. Now, technically that's the end of the turn, but it's definitely not. We're gonna be recruiting our second lord immediately, and we're gonna be going for a vampire lord. These aren't the traits I want, but this is why you run test campaigns. Remember to be patient with Creative Assembly. They're a small indie company. It's hard to get everything working in time. There's no reason there should be visual feedback on which one of these you've clicked at all. And God forbid you actually put in the descriptions of what the traits do when you access them through this memory, or this menu rather. Why is this not just the same as the previous menu? Like what? This is so bafflingly shit for actually no reason. I think I'm gonna go with strong. Tough seems like it's not gonna be great against the dwarves who have armor piercing, whereas strong is the opposite boat. Weapon Master is the other thing I'm considering. I can't quite remember what it does. I'm gonna go with strong, not on a Strigoi though. I feel like Strigois are just worse than vampires after doing a little bit of testing. So Casper, get in here. And Casper's going to immediately start recruiting units and pick up the skeletons in the area. Not the skeleton spears, because that building is being destroyed. I'm not interested in having a building slot devoted to having a marginally better skeletons when I'm not even fighting large units to begin with. And I'm going to immediately hand off the Varghul to him so I can't ever forget about it. I'm not sure I want to get anything else to him. I think this stack is just going to be this guy, the Varghulf, all the vampires I get. I'm going to have a second vampire lord tag around with him because I know I don't have enough. And I think I'm going to recruit Chaff from the Raised Dead pool as I need it, but that's the plan. Coming over to Quick Deal, something worth noting is I start with several non-aggression packs, and against the other vampires that makes sense, but I also start with 2 against Averland and Reichland, which makes a westward expansion super awkward. And I think my plan is to not expand west, because since it's all Imperium over here, they're all allied, attacking one pisses off all of them. What I think I'm going to do instead, after I consolidate the initial territory and kill Tempelhof at least, is we're going to go into Vlad's skill tree. We're going to pick up Mortal Levies at around level 12 or 13 for plus 40 Empire relations. And then using the Bloodlines, we're going to go for the second Lamian Dark Art to get Diplomatic Relations plus 30 with Empire and Kislev, Cathay, and Bretonnia, but mostly Empire, because plus 70 is enough to make them go from disliking me rather severely to actually pretty damn fond of me. So I had the sneaking suspicion I was forgetting something. I saved the game, did the editing for the first part of this video, and I realized 2 things. The first is that this army can be a potentially massive problem. The worst case scenario is that on turn 2 it just wanders somewhere up here to get closer to Eschen without being in range of you, which results in this army wandering around your land for a long time. And in my test campaigns, I didn't find a great way to deal with it. I might have to recruit a 3rd lord over here after I take Tempelhof and hand off the army from Isabella and Vlad. That might be the plan. But in the games where they didn't do anything and it worked out fine, were games where I had walked out like this, and I guess that spooked them? I don't know. Additionally, the thing I'm actually forgetting is I do have the money. Well, I literally don't have the money, but I can have the money.
This better be important.
I have to give up this skeleton right now, meaning my army against Waldenhof's even skimpier, but let's be honest, the Varghulf and Caspar are basically the only part of this that matter, and we're building this now. We can save 250 gold by building it next turn. We can get another skeleton. There are reasons not to do this. And if I can trade anyone to get the money and get that skeleton now, I would love to, but I don't think anything's available in Quick Deal this turn. On turn 1, everyone's pretty confident that I'm a terrible person and they want me dead, the exception being Tempelhof. Tempelhof, how much is peace worth to you? All of your money, you said. See, the reason I said I was actually sure that I did have the money to afford these vampires, this is something very funny that happens with Tempelhof. In one of my test saves when I was playing this before I actually sat down to record, I betrayed them immediately because I needed the money to make vampires. I just said, hey, how much money will you give me for peace? Cool, thanks, I'm gonna stab you anyway. And yes. It turns out that doing that has literally no ramifications. If you make the treaty and break it over and over and over again with this faction, you will never drop to very low. Or at least not within the first like 10 times you do it, because I got bored. So I'm going to do that for the money, which is going to give me the ability to recruit this skeleton and build the vampires. And then next turn, we're going to immediately betray them. And this should also encourage them to stay here and not wander into the woods and be a problem. So let's see if that all goes according to plan. As always, Dryka's just come in from the north and taking out Essen. It occurs to me that there are the neighboring cities of Essen and Eschen, and whoever decided this is a mean, mean man. And with Dryka moving in, it really solidifies the position you're in as the vampire counts of Sylvania, that you're surrounded by dwarves, the Empire, Dryka, the Deceivers about. Whichever way you push, you find more enemies. You go this way or this way, you find Festus. You go this way or this way, you find orcs. We're surrounded by enemies, and on the other side of those enemies, once we finish our first war, is more enemies. However, looking at this, maybe this is why it doesn't matter if you betray him, because clearly he's willing to betray you, and that's just public knowledge. Sir, this is not acceptable. Please leave. You're going to have to leave. Oh, cool. He's retreated into the woods. And we're barely able to reach Tempelhof. That's okay. We're gonna go conquer Tempelhof now. It's fine. Don't worry about it. This is not a Pyrrhic victory. Don't lie to me. This is gonna be cheese. I'm gonna do it in a second. For now, just continue the siege. In the north, we have a much more real fight.
What?
We're gonna go into the raised dead pool. We've got zombies and crypt ghouls. And neither of those are particularly good. I'm not willing to spend 500 on crypt ghouls. I'll take the one zombie, because I need some amount of meat shields. I'm gonna step up into the next area. Check out the raised dead pool here. We've got a pile of zombies, a couple of skeletons. I honestly think that the skeletons just aren't worth it. I will take the pile of zombies though, just the meat to get in the way seems relevant. Yeah, that'll just be something for the towers to shoot at, it's not bad. And then this is also going to be a real siege that requires me to actually fight it. Neither of these are technically easy. Well, the other one is, but the other one's cheese, so it doesn't count. And then once I conquer both of them, I'm going to give him another peace treaty for all the money he made between turns and ask for a non-aggression pact, which I will immediately break once I'm able to deal with his army. Now, something I need to mention that I'm doing, it's very dumb, is every turn before I fight, if I remember to at least, I'm turning off my research. Why? That seems really stupid. It's because when your lords level up, you get a chance at, not your lords, your lords or your heroes, I think. When they level up, you get a chance at getting a student ancillary. But this only happens if you aren't currently researching. So what you do is you turn off your research at the start of the turn. This is only for some factions. Vampire counts as one of them. It's basically the civilized humans and the high elves, I think. But yeah, the plan is to turn off our research to get better research and then turn it back on at the end of the turn. To say it's badly implemented is an understatement. It's just absolute shenanigans where I don't know what the organic play pattern is supposed to be. A reward for somebody who turned off the notification that you aren't researching. I got nothing. This is very much going to be the Varghulf show since I'm not going to have any grave guards or anything else. I'm going to try to keep the skeletons going, but without passive regeneration on the Lord, this one's actually a little bit tough. Because as you can see, in terms of quantity of trash and quality of unit, I am outperformed on both. It's very much on the back of cycle charging the Varghulf that we're going to win this. And the Lord. The Lord's going to do a lot of work, dude. Don't underestimate how much Caspar is worth. He's worth at least all of their zombies and skeletons put together. I just realized the Lure of Vampires icon is not a bat. It's a skull with bat wings and fangs. That's so silly. So I think the plan is just to run in here and fight in this area. It seems like the widest area inside the city for doing cycle charging. In testing, I found out that if I went to this area, I'm not quite sure which one it was. Maybe it was this one. But some of these places are really unresponsive. Like most of the area I was clicking around here, I'm sure it was this one now, wasn't actually valid terrain and super unpleasant. So I think fighting in this little fork in the road might be the most open area for cycle charging. And cycle charging is definitively the name of the game. Everyone go forward. You're coming in first, and we're charging here. Skeletons come in as far as they can. The zombies will catch up later and take up the rear. And we're immediately off to the races with the cycle charge nonsense. I wonder if there's a way to line this up to be better. Can you cycle charge if they're that close? I don't know that you will. Yes. Good. The Vampire Lord's on his way. That's going to help to slow them down a lot. Skeletons are showing up. That's good news. Skeleton's going to involve here. The other group runs forward. This guy's got infused and he's spinning in circles. That's fine, I guess. I don't know where the bats are going. I guess it ultimately doesn't matter very much, but I would like to know where the bats are going. All right, cool. The bats have landed on the rear here. We're going to send in all of you to that. Pull these other 2 zombies back in reserve. As much as that idea applies with units this week. And as we fight this, we're going to occasionally throw the healing spell onto the skeletons as they start to fall in numbers, because they are very, very good at being healed. Like, they are meaningfully better at being kept around for long periods of time than the zombies, which is why I put them in the front line as opposed to anywhere else. And the sun is setting, so we will do the rest of our cycle charging in the dark, I guess. And I'm going to put this on triple speed while I'm cycle charging, I think. And then slow it down every time this is off cooldown and I'm throwing it at a skeleton. The zombies are doing their best, and their best is fucking trash, so I'm gonna try to give them more specific commands. I might have to fight the dogs the hard way. It's very frustrating. They're close to falling apart. We should have another copy of regeneration up, throw it on the weaker skeleton every time. Because the worst thing that happens is the skeletons actually break. Dire wolves are back up to strong binding, just from running away for a hot second. Wasn't expecting that. The graveyards are all over the shop, but I think we're still doing well. Oh, that was a different... No, it's the same group of dogs. It looks like getting out of the fight for a small period of time might actually be able to restore your binding really meaningfully. Anyway, if you don't want to charge them, charge the dogs. I'm gonna just put this on triple speed for a second until the dogs try to leave, because the dogs will try to leave. Or they'll die, which is fine, because they're really impeding my ability to cycle charge. Right, the dogs should be crumbling, right? No, they're still in it. Gotta be shocked. We're gonna keep trying to bring these guys back. We're gonna give up on the weaker skeleton. Oh, they're both crumbling already. That was actually a waste of a heal then. That's fine. At the end of the day, they're all just meat shields. It is very much the Varghulf and Lord and no one else that this fight's gonna be dependent on. What's this? Skeleton warriors weak binding. Chase them down. Make sure they go into crumbling. Critical binding. Still critical. Come on, get involved. Actually do a charge. Still not critical. Weak binding. How's it improving? You're being attacked. Hey, guys, what's happening down here? Okay, good. I think it's best to heal the Vampire Lord because the zombies are actually worthless. We're gonna charge back and forth here. We got them to crumbling, and then they went up to critical. I didn't know you could recover from crumbling. But I will be doing charges back and forth between these two. And we're gonna go over to just healing this guy. It'd be nice if the zombies would actually get involved. I'm gonna have this man run back. That way the zombies are taking some of the heat off of him. Get the Varghulf coming back this way. Those are crumbling. Those are also crumbling. Fantastic. And I think the meat shields have done their job. Heal yourself. If the zombies die, it's no loss to us. It's just cycle charge shenanigans. Like, the Varghulf's going to be fine. The only fear is the Vampire Lord can find a way to get killed by the end of this. I think we're doing well, but without the balance of power UI anymore, I'm not certain. That's crumbling. That's very close to crumbling, so I want to cycle charge that when given the option. You should be able to heal yourself again. And it looks like several units of zombies are going down, but that's fine. All they're here to do is buy time. And they have bought time quite admirably. What are we up to on kills? 232 on the Varghulf, 204 here. I'd say we're about 2/3 the way through the fight then. Although the Varghulf's getting stuck for some reason, not quite sure what he was stuck on. I guess there was like one guy next to him, and instead of cycle charging, I was just hitting the one next to me. I think that's what was happening. Yeah, the Vampire Lord's completely fine right now. The zombies will die soon, but the zombies literally don't matter. I don't even think in terms of balance of power they count for anything. Yeah, we're doing the same thing where we're getting shenanigans again. Those are all crumbling. Wait, that's losses. We win. Close victory, if you say so. The only units that died were the units that were supposed to die. They were here to do it. We managed to keep 4 zombies around, only lost 3 units. That's actually much better than I thought. I was willing to lose every single one of them. Vampire Lord leaving at basically full health, 2 more pips of experience in the Varghulf. 530 kills between the Varghulf and Casper. Pretty damn good. All right, 260 dark magic. Not that much. We can't really get much more from destroying the place, and we need to
Horse
occupy it.
side.
Because we don't want to destroy buildings here. It's going to be a part of core territory very soon. And now we need to cheese a fight. Oh man, I never enjoy doing this. They've got the one unit of Black Knights, but I've only encountered trouble the very first time I tried to do this. I think we're fine. For those who aren't familiar with cheesing major settlements, a brief introduction. Major settlement battles are where they have a ton of garrison on top of their normal army. Towers, defensive structures, bad enclosed spaces that are difficult to maneuver through. It's generally a mess and a nightmare to play through. And you can play King of the Hill and defend this point if you can capture it. And if you win King of the Hill after, like, I think 3 or 5 minutes in that point, and they haven't taken it back, you win the fight. So it's way, way faster to abuse the AI and cheese this than it is to actually play it legitimately. It's more efficient, it saves me time in real life and in game, saves me casualties. I'm going to be doing that for every single major settlement if I'm given half a chance, and against a slow army like this, absolutely I'm doing it. So as you can see, most of their armies over here were initially deployed, and as my people run down to the next gates, they are being trailed by a whole 1, maybe 2 skeleton warriors. Oh, it looks like it's 3, counting zombies. They're technically a unit. The only enemy units that matter for this sort of strategy are cavalry, because cavalry can A, keep up with you, and B, basically just pin you in place if they ever get to you, which is very problematic. I would obviously prefer my own lord to be on horseback for this, but that's not really an option I have. And as we run through the first point, you're going to see just how quickly 3 lords and heroes can actually capture a point. I'm not even sure we need to stand here for any period of time, or it'll just be filled by the time we get to the other end. We need to waste about 5 seconds to cap that. We can get through it very, very quickly. And once we capture the point up here, our plan is going to be to send Vlad onto the bridge and everyone else over here, and they'll be able to hold for long enough to win, for sure. It looks like the bats have arrived just in time to die without slowing me down at all, which is quite funny. I may as well throw a bound soul leech on them to make sure they die quickly. And an actual soul leech, nope, they're gone. I was gonna say on this other unit, but they're not here. Vlad's taking the bridge. You guys are coming this way. And if the bats are back, they're getting soul leeched again. They're sort of hanging out near us. They're not really doing a whole lot. But we need to make sure the enemy doesn't get on the point, thus Vlad and them doing what they're doing. I can't reliably expect everything to come this way, so we have to do this. It would be nice if we can make any progress here and get these guys dead sooner rather than later, because I want to be defending off the point. I don't want to be where I currently am. Also, that is a lot of something skittering around. I guess they must be rats, considering I can see them from here. Come on, guys. You need this shit to be dead. Okay, they did it. Thank God. Because I've been really worried about something coming through here before we actually set up, and now that's no longer a possibility. There's just zombies there. I don't actually want to go out and fight them if they're not here yet. I want to defend specifically right here. Vlad can charge into the skeleton warriors. You can drop this onto them. And they've turned around, maybe to go fight Vlad. I'm not sure. They don't seem to have a good understanding of the rules of King of the Hill. Going to drop a bound spirit leech on them as well. All right, they're finally coming forward. Let's make sure they don't get past this point. This is a great bottleneck to hold them in. Vlad's just over here fighting on his own. He's fine. Don't worry about him. Worrying about Vlad is just absolutely crazy talk. That doesn't make any sense. We're going to continue using all of our souls over here on spirit leeching these guys, but it won't matter. They're just not going to get to the point in time. As you can see, they could run past me and fix this. The AI absolutely has it in their power to not lose here, but not in their brain. Oh, I should be healing you, actually, so that you leave the battle with more energy, huh? And I'll throw down more spirit leeches just so you look like you were more important. And that'll be all of the victory tickets. Everyone's dead. Thank you for killing yourselves. That's very honorable. We got the Scepter of Stability, which is... Your ability is named Ward Save. It does not give Ward Save. What the fuck are you talking about? Every time I get an item for that slot, it's just absolute trash. Anyway, we're going to occupy that one as well. Now, would you like another peace treaty? You'd love one? You have $3,400 more from somewhere? Boy, I would love to have peace again. That sounds great.
More sleep shy.
This army's in the same region, so only one gets to recruit, and I want it to be Isabella's army that's taking the recruitment. We're taking skeleton warriors. Oh wait, this is the raise that option. There's a corpse cart here. I think I care about that because of the magical aura and the regeneration. You really want at least one corpse cart in your army to make all your chaff into not quite chaff. I think it's worth recruiting the corpse cart and not destroying this building for an extra turn. And then we'll take skeletons, of course. Which means we need to let these rocks stick around for at least one turn before we destroy them, unfortunately, but I'm fine with that. The real question is, do I want to recruit another lord? Because I do need somebody to come round up all these people. First, though, let's build some gibbets, because I love nothing more than money. And despite all of the fighting we're doing without research enabled, no students. If I recruit a guy right here, because I know I'm recruiting him next turn anyway, it's not that much worse. It gets me a couple more units. So let's come over to our saved boys one more time. It's going to be tough this time just because there's not really another option unless Devious is sick, and it might be, but I don't know that it is. So I'm just taking the one who's the best at fighting. Hop in, then hop out on the south side. And raise dead, pick up some... Oh wait, not raise dead, recruit. Pick up some skeletons. Go back to recruitment, turn Lamian Book of Blood back on, and assign some skill points. Our basic vampire really does want to get Spirit Leech and Life Leeching to get more magic. I think I'm going to go for that. I'm going to get these three as my first things, just so that the army has access to more magic. For Isabella, we're immediately going down this line. Actually, I won't raise dead or Penumbral Pendulum more. Probably Penumbral Pendulum, right? That spell's very, very good. For Vlad, we're going straight down dueling, picking out Quick Blood, 2 points of it for maximum weapon damage. We take the Hunger on Casper so that he can win the battle on his own next time and doesn't need anyone else, and the Restless Dead because he's a legendary lord, so of course you do. You just need movement range. All right, I think that's everything for the turn. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I think we're good. Let's just see what Zedlik von Kruger actually gets up to. Probably not a lot. Oh, he force marched all the way back to his capital, or almost all the way back. That's really good. The best thing he can possibly do is just get out of my way and make it easy to regroup down here. We're able to recruit vampires now, by the way, and it's time to talk more about this company and how great their cape is and how they haven't messed anything up. Let's Dark Majesty, just real quick. Not useful. None of these are particularly good effects, which is unfortunate. And the reason it's unfortunate is because when you come to load character, you'll notice that even the level 1 wins I have saved, and I do have some level 1 wins, are at full price. Because when you load a character, the building here doesn't affect them. You would think hero recruitment costs would not matter whether or not you are loading something or not, but here we are. I want to test something out, and the thing I want to test out is fucking silly. So I'm going to save it, edit this part, and do a lot of restarting the game, because the level 4 wins cost 1870. The level 1 wins do not cost 1870. And I've become convinced that what these guys want is not like strong or aggressive, but just like based on the performance I've been seeing out of Isabella's guy with the free bound spell of Spirit Leech. I think having 4 free copies of Spirit Leech would be really funny to play with. So I'm gonna go make that happen. I want to test that out. And yes, that does mean I'm willing to spend like an additional 3,000 gold just to pick my traits on those guys. One not so minor detour later, and you can see we still have several Devious and Master the Black Arts vampires saved, as well as the 4 already loaded in. Madison, Sarah, Manuel, Millicent, Posner, the Posner gang are all here. Now, of course, we're in the red income, and we just spent like literally 5,000 gold on that instead of the 1,200 it should have cost, and they've come in at rank 1 instead of rank 4, so there are downsides to doing this. But they also all get free copies of Spirit Leech, 4 of them, and it seems to me like a dozen casts of a spell should be enough to meaningfully change the way battles fight. Additionally, this looks like it says all spellcasters. I assume it means all friendly spellcasters are all the same, regardless of which it means. It basically says that any army with all 4 of these guys in it cannot miscast spells, which seems like it probably matters a lot. Now, obviously, we're going toward the dwarves, because if we don't go to war immediately, we're bankrupting for no reason. Caspar Stahlberg is coming down all the way to Castle Drakenhof. Here he's going to regenerate a little bit. Sadly, they can't join his army to help the regeneration, otherwise he'd regenerate quite a lot more. And we're also going to pick up 2 more skeletons. Meanwhile, this man's going to run down to make sure we have someone in range to start the siege against Alaric next turn at Oakenhammer. We don't want to go for the capital. We want to be a little bit stronger when we start this fight, so we're going to save that for the turn after next. Now, you'll notice we're going to be basically completely out of money, but don't you worry. We have the ability to get yet more money. Before we make this attack against him, because he is our loot pinata, we can make more money if we're stronger when we negotiate. And coming over to Quick Deal, you can see that Clan Creepus really wants us to not kill them. We're going to offer them all the deals, and in exchange, they're going to offer us $1,900. And as you can see, the reason this is happening is because Clan Creepus is a scared little rat man, and I am terrifying to him. So I will gladly take my $1,900 to not kill him, and Dryka will probably do it for me next turn. Dryka, obviously not a huge fan of this, but fuck her. I need this money very badly. I've made bad decisions.
I'll be all powerful.
Next, we're going to declare war again on Drakenhof. Just every time. No one cares. And here, even though it's casualties medium, we don't actually lose any units, and I'm going to auto-resolve. It's not just because it's faster. God knows I appreciate that. But because auto-resolving actually generates more experience for your armies, because it's assigning the full experience value of the army. Anything that routs and gets auto-destroyed or crumbles, normally I wouldn't get experience for that, so auto-resolving does have upsides compared to fighting yourself. Additionally, these units that would be taking wounds don't actually matter when I fight things manually. These are the 3 that actually get used, so auto-resolve is all upside in terms of additional experience, even though I'm losing units. We're going to take the additional magic there. And before we kill you, would you like another peace treaty? I don't know where you keep getting this money from. Now, I've got bad news. Even the 3rd time we do this, no one in the world gives a shit. Except for you, obviously, because you kind of don't exist anymore. And we're going to occupy because, as always, looting in early game just doesn't even give you enough to repair what you're damaging. We're going to destroy all of these military buildings, start the gibbet because our income is in the absolute dumpster. I say that, we're positive, technically, because we've lost units, I guess. And because we've lost those units, I do think it's probably worth taking replenished troops here. There's definitely an argument for doing other things, but because our primary spellcaster is the Lord and not the actual spellcaster here, I do think I want that just to get the rest of the army going. We're leveling up Penumbral Pendulum on Isabella to get the reduced magic cost. Vlad is actually going to take the training perk so that his army can theoretically do something in the future. It might be wrong, but I think it sounds cool and I want to try it. We're going to use False Terror as our commandment in Templehof, just like Drakenhof. And I forgot to do the thing where I turn off my tech to try to get students. Oh well. Before we end our turn, as we're in different locations, we can pick up some skeleton warriors in this army. And it looks like that's everything for this turn, so let's go ahead and end it. We finish our first tech, get a blood kiss, gain 10 growth in all settlements. Creepus is actually still alive, isn't that neat? We're gonna gather all the vampire babes into this army.
So be it.
We're also gonna take the skeletons from our neighboring lord. I guess in more ways than one.
Test me at your peril.
But take these. Come up, start the attack. Yes, declare war. He's a boring dwarf, he has no enemies, so there's no one who's gonna pay me to do this. And then we're going to wait, just circle it for a second. He's going to bring up this other vampire as well, get him gaining experience. It's very important. Because this guy needs to be level 2, basically. And since it's low casualties, it's not the experience so much that matters here, just I don't want to fight them. That's pretty much it. On the flip side, if I only care about experience on these guys, the problem is that because they're a lot of my strength, they'll get most of the experience anyway. And so much of this is going to rout and not actually die that I'll probably still get more experience auto-resolving. Yeah, and even though we took some damage with all the replenishing happening from 4 vampires, it won't matter. And Occupy, same reason as always, just this early in the game, looting kind of sucks unless you're immediately... I don't even know, because if you sell the province, it'll still sell for less. We're going to take the gibbet because we're bankrupt, and I don't care about growth in this province very much at all. Now, like I implied a short while ago, we're going to create more lords. Specifically, I have some vampire lords that also have mastered the black arts that I picked up while I was in alternate save files. So this guy is getting summoned. And this guy, Nicholas Stiltman, is also getting summoned. He's going to pop in, and he's going to pop out. And he's going to be launching the attack up here next turn. He can just barely make it from the capital. It's very nice. Everyone else is going to force march over to reinforce him. It'll be fine. And then we're going to exchange armies a little bit. The old lords are going to march left, take this out with whatever they can recruit along the way. They might not even need anything, to be honest. And the new lords are going to be taking over the army and heading east into the Greenskins and eventually into the other side of Carrick Dren, because they're not big fans of you. I'm interested in taking them out early, and it'll bring my army around to Dryka, who I'm very afraid of, because I won't be doing anything to improve diplomacy with her. Them? I'm not sure if it has a gender. I think of Dryka as female, but I guess I don't actually know any of their lore. Now, coming back over to Fort Oberstyre, since I need to settle Needling, and I don't think it's a rat settlement, and even if it is, Creepers will be dead soon. What I want to do instead is recruit a lord here and just go for the cheapest lord I can get, which is going to be a necromancer. These others are notably more expensive. I just don't need them at all. So to save money for the first time all campaign, we're going to be summoning Balser von Waldenhof, and he's just going to be coming up here to inhabit this place next turn. Isabella von Carstein, meanwhile, is going to be declaring war here, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Who are you at war with? I believe you're always at war with the Deceivers and some Beastmen, but I've never met them. Anyway, the Deceivers will pay me $800 to declare the war I was already going to declare, so maybe they're not the masters of espionage they think they are, but I'll take my $800 and go to war. The moot's worthless to me, but it's worth quite a lot to Averland, so this is actually a really good thing to sell away. It won't even make my territory stop being contiguous, so... And again, auto-resolve, same reason as last time. No deaths, just more experience like this. I'm going to occupy because I'm convinced that loot and occupy results in me spending more money repairing it than it gets me. Because even if I'm selling it, I need to repair it so they'll think it's better. And we're going to keep this here rather than demolishing it because it'll matter to them. They'll think it's more valuable for having that. Going through skill points just like last time, I'm taking replenished troops here on the Death Mage and Isabella's army. On Isabella herself, I'm taking Raised Dead and working into later tier vampire stuff. On Vlad, I'm going to continue taking training because it seems cool, and I don't know if it's good, but it feels like it should be. If I get training early, they should have a crazy stack of super experienced soldiers later in the game, right? For all of the vampire lords, after they get hunger and march speed, they're all going down vampire magic because it's too important not to have. Now, for all the vampires that are just normal vampires, I think I just take the melee tree. Initially, at least. I definitely won't safeguard on all of them. But after that, maybe it is better to go down the magic tree just to get access to additional vampire magic. But safeguard for the armor is too important since we're brawling it out with dwarves right now, so let's go ahead and do that on all of them. And for our next research, we're taking serve in life or in death to get income from repression buildings, which, by the way, is the main income building type. Oh, hey, it looks like you've got a student during all of that. Cool. So, as I was saying, fighting all these battles without your research enabled means you can get some students, and they'll increase your research rate by 10%. So, since I have a ton of people to put them on, I need to remember to do that to get massively faster research rate. And with some of the money we're currently floating, we're going to pick up several gibbets in the territories that are able to make them. I don't think there's that many of them, but still. We can make a gibbet in our capital, that's fine. Oh, we already have one. We're gonna make the growth building, and we're out of money, but we'll get more money next turn. It's fine. It's fine. I promise, it's fine. We're not bankrupt. You're bankrupt. And we're gonna awaken the first Lamia here, which we should have done before. No, I think we got it from going here. I don't think we had it before. If we did have it before, we should have done it before this for more experience, but the main one is the second Lamia for relationship with the Empire. For now, the turn's over. Let's see if anything terrible happens between turns or if it all goes according to plan. Zufbar has stayed in their city, which is great for me. Clan Creepus is gone, as I expected. Is this settlement still uninhabited? It is. Which means that we can settle it, but we want to wait till we have money to try. Which, spoilers, won't be long at all. Let's hop out here. Go into, not channeling stance. Raiding stance. Oh, we're not actually far enough away to raid. Shit. So basically, we have to take attrition then. There's no way that's going to be able to reach. We have to cut through here. That's fine. We'll take the attrition. It won't be a big deal. And now that we're out of this territory, who's this? The Redhorn tribe of Beastmen. Yeah, that's right. You were at war with them. Very unfriendly. Not super surprised to hear it, I'll be honest. Anyway, now that we're out of the moot and we're no longer trespassing, I've got a wonderful deal for you. Would you like to buy a whole-ass city? You would. Now, for it, they'll pay me $46.44, and they actually can't afford to give me nearly as much as they think it's worth. But I can take a trade agreement, and I don't think I want this other stuff. I think I'd rather get more money. Yeah, military access costs me a massive amount of cash. I'm just going to take the money. 4,500 and the trade agreement. I was expecting more from them, but still, it's fine. Now, Mootland doesn't even break up my empire. I still have contiguous land with this province, and it means that Averland is so much more likely not to mess with me. So that's just going to help me out a lot, I imagine. Also, I desperately need the cash. Now, starting this fight would be a problem because this is the only guy who can reach it, and he doesn't have Siege Attacker. However, thankfully, you can get around this. He's going to come here. He's going to continue the siege. The original army from over here is going to enter Force March, and deliver the army, including the Varghulf, to him. And these other vampires all have to go into stance march to actually get in range of the fights, but that should be fine. So all of the vampires are now participating in the assault. It thinks it's a close defeat. So fun fact, this army on its own, ignoring the garrison, against just these 4, this lord, and like 3 zombies, you can win that fight relatively easily in a field battle. I have tremendously more chaff than that, the Varghulf, and 2 additional lords. I think in a field battle, I could actually win this relatively easily. But for now, we're going to continue the siege, do the rest of the turn first, and end on the big climactic battle. Oh, we should have built the Tarnished Gold Shaft earlier, because it's objectively better than the Gibbet. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to start this settlement being grown. I believe Temple Hop is probably capable of growing too. No, not quite yet, but next turn. We have the money. Let's settle Needlands, and then disband this man. Oh, God, it's so much money. Fuck. Still, you got to do it. And we don't need this man anymore. We're gonna need 1,000 more cash to do anything with this. Deeply frustrating, but that's fine. Zofbar will super peace after this fight. I think that might be where I'm getting the word to finish building the settlement with. And then rather than sending these lords down and just disband them now, in the future I'll recruit a lord here and just walk up with an army. That seems perfectly fine. Killing them immediately doesn't seem urgent or necessary at all. But regardless of what exactly we're doing, it starts with fighting this battle, so let's get into it. So looking at this city for a little while, I've come to the conclusion the best place to pretend I'm going to siege is over here, because it looks like there should be a fairly easy dead zone here if I need it, but I think I can probably just pile my guys in the back over here and be out of range of the tower. I can't check the range of the tower because it won't show me when I hover it or when I click it or anything. It's very frustrating. But the plan is to wait for reinforcements coming on the left side, bait them on the right side, simple enough. Now, do we immediately get shot by this tower? Because I'm kind of expecting us to. No, we're good. Cool. Excellent. All right, the gaggle of vampires has arrived. Let's get in there. Get to the gatehouse, boys. Now, unfortunately, several of these people are tired, which will make it much harder for them to be useful for us. But I think we're probably still fine. It's probably worth moving all the tired ones to the right, though, and expecting them to fall behind. All right, let's run for it. Everyone book it. Let's see how it goes. We should be able to get through. Dwarves have no cavalry, which means we should be able to push through basically all of this. I was expecting you to sort of charge into him a little bit, but it's fine. You don't have to if you don't want to. We're very much playing King of the Hill here, though. I've gotten some of the vampires through, just not many. Technically, this is fine. Just gonna keep spamming the move commands, and everything's gonna work out in the end. By the power of regeneration. When I cut around, we don't want to fight them. And this is stupid, absolutely, but it's working. And that probably matters more than how intelligent it is. Now, what I'm wondering is whether or not I should be trying to, like, patch up on some of these people or just abandoning them behind at this point. You need to be healing yourself. That I'm sure of. Everyone else, keep trying to make a break for it. We have to get to the objective eventually. And this guy is going to push through, distract, do the same shit he's been doing. This is the silliest thing I feel like I've ever done in Total War. Swiftly with haste. Swiftly. With haste? Alright, good. Cool, that's the next point cap to distract them with. Alright, everyone, run past as we've been doing. We've got an objective to win. And that guy's all the way back there, huh? At least he's free. Not able to heal himself, but that's fine. He's not stuck in a crowd anymore. Going to spend a hot second cycle charging with this guy. He is in a crowd again. Everyone, please get to the objective. Not able to heal him. Everyone else will be out of range. That's fine. We'll all be together on the point fighting like champions soon. Cool, he's in range of this guy now because neither of them are keeping up for shit. All right, that's the main point captured. And with this done, we should just be safe. Also, soul leech them. I forgot to grab these two this time. Come on, get out of there. Very important that you're alive. All right, if we just do a charge there, it'll be fine. We've got the objective. This guy needs to get free. We have unlimited soul leech, essentially. Because they all get their own. They all have their own number for this, I think. Yeah, disgusting. Soul leech does not stack. You can't use it multiple times in the same unit, but still, that's incredibly strong. This guy's stuck fighting here. It's not ideal. Anyone with vampiric magic to spare should be throwing it on something. Come on, dude. Get out of there. You will die if you don't. Eventually. Yeah, maybe not. But it's very important that you try to leave. All right, cool. Keep running. Book it. All right, everyone else come down and help then. Wait. One of those guys, two of those guys are not where I thought they were. The fuck's happening over here?
The living will join us at once. Swiftly, at once.
Are you broken yet? No, so I just need you to move in a way that'll get you free. Not sure where you got to. The rest of this. Okay, you're technically alive and fine. We're gonna win because of automatic bullshit. It's fine. We have some fairly major damage on some of these people, but they should be fine as long as I control them decently. Over here, that guy's at regen cap. You're both done. Just drop your free soul leeches on everything around you, basically. Nope, keep running. The question's just, what is the best way to not die? I think it's to run this way and then cut back in. And no one else should die before the fight actually ends. So the only goal is to make sure she doesn't crumble. Oh, this isn't a dead end. I thought I was running into an alleyway or some shit. We're out of magic. That's fine. We still have magic. It doesn't count. Oh, no, not you. Not you. You keep running. So this was brutal because we got bogged down really badly because I was trying to get people through and I lost track of some of them. But that'll also be the win with no deaths, so I'll take it. Really should have been better than that, but I guess we're going to be leveling up replenishment this time. If you could all just honorably kill yourself for losing King of the Hill, I'd greatly appreciate that. Thank you and goodbye. There we go. End battle. I would like to go home. Close victory. I'll agree with that. No one died, although some people did their best to try. Realistically, we can heal a lot of this with vampire lore in the next easy fight we have, which I'm sure there will be one eventually. And with 4 people replenishing the army, it just shouldn't be a problem. We got a forbidden rod, if only it were like an item that was actually useful instead. We're going to occupy, we don't have the mobility to sack here. And then we're going to go talk to Zufbar and see what they're willing to pay for a peace treaty. 4,000, huh?
Be done with them.
Yeah, I'll take that. We'll kill you another day. We're gonna pick up the hunger and the invocate and the restless dead on this guy, but seeing as he's just tough, he didn't actually matter. We're also going to disband him immediately.
What do you want? More
Same thing over here. He is level 6. He is cool. He's strong, but that's not free magic. So we're gonna level him up, work towards whatever he needs when he comes back as an emergency army, which is going to be summoning units. And then we're going to disband him. And that saves us a lot of money per turn. Our army is still here. Our army is fine. Realistically, there's no point in investing in regen if all it's doing is getting this person better. We can heal them in the fight. It won't be a problem. Let's start going through and figuring out who needs what. For Vampire Lords, we're taking the Hunger, followed by Move Speed. I wish there was a way to say I confirm this without closing the screen. It's very frustrating. Hunger, Move Speed, and Invocation to Hex. I have the addition. Oh, I've got even more. I guess I use the one leading the army then. Raised Dead's got to be the next one. And now for all the vampires I've got. I think I do want to go for Magical Reserves and Arcane Conduit, but it feels wrong. Like I should just be taking the melee stuff. And I'm going to take the melee stuff. I'm going to take melee attack first, and then Impassion seconds.
I am ready.
And I'll be making that exact same decision on all of them.
Be important. My bloodline calls.
You're literally women. Why are you screaming in the burliest voice in the world? Every single person just... Maybe I'm getting the voice of the person commanding the army and not necessarily the hero. Is that what it is? I've got no idea. It would explain why Isabella keeps talking when I select Vlad. Now, I do think I want this army to just push through the mountains up to where Karat Kadrin is based and come out next to Draika, with the intent of killing both of those legendary lords. Don't know if that'll be easy, but it is what I want to do. Hey Draika, how pissed are you at me already? You're upset with the whole peace treaties with Tempelhof thing. You know, that's fair. That'll fade into the past eventually, but for now, I get it. I get it. Yeah, the downside of the treaties with Tempelhof thing is that everyone did hear about that and get pretty upset by it. They think they were real peace treaties. And yet again, I forgot to do the technology thing. Oh, that's really unfortunate for that fight. It's fine. It's a stupid bit of tech that I'll eventually remember to do. It's just unfun and unintuitive. Oh well. We can level up the growth building. I don't really care about the necromancers though. I feel like I'm better off investing my money almost anywhere else in the game because the growth building is just so minor. Level that up, that's for sure, or start building it rather. Destroy this military building. We absolutely don't want that in Zofbar. All right, I think that's it for this turn, so let's get through the end phase and see if anything happens. Unfortunately, the Beastman Horde just raised one of the cities I'm looking to take over. Not the biggest fan of that. Also, the Rock Skulls are dead, whoever they were. Like, these people just have to get value and do something, which means I have to go to war with the Grand Peak. I was trying to come up with a way to justify not doing that, and I have absolutely nothing.
Dance macabre.
I do take attrition here, though, so I would like to move forward in raiding stance.
Deliver it unto me.
Oh, we actually can't even get out of our territory in raiding stance. So we'll just walk up to the border, I guess? Where is my border? Is it this tiny green line? It must be.
Strike out.
Question, will I actually be able to get there next turn? It looks like I will be able to. I'm gonna come back him up on the other guy. And in fact, I'm gonna trade armies entirely here, which might seem silly, but this guy's healed. He doesn't need the healers with him. I get way more regen by swapping the army here. Here, we're in range to attack Wurtbad. Let's do it this time. We're gonna turn off the thing. Then we attack Wurtbad, and we're auto-resolving this pretty much guaranteed. I can't imagine we're forced to fight it for real. Decisive victory, low casualties. The Changeling is here and backing him up? No, the Changeling is here and backing me up. It's even funnier. 1 second, continue the siege. Can we see him? No, he's just there. I was surprised by low casualties. Thanks, broski. I guess, if you want to build some buildings here and, like, give me more income, I wouldn't mind. Auto-resolve. I'm surprised I took even that many wounds. Occupy that Sterling destroyed. And we may as well raise that every chance we get. Come over to skills, we need 1 more point before we can go to the next tier. I'm torn between the 2nd rank of Raised Dead versus Curse of Undeath for the tiny amount of passive healing. I think the tiny amount of passive healing is a bait. It's literally 0.35% of the health of everyone nearby. But if everyone nearby already has regeneration, it's basically worthless. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Raised Dead. That feels right to me. On the Vampire in the army, I think it's time they start leveling up and working towards the magical reserve stuff, so Doom and Darkness, to sort of nuke the leadership of already weakened units. It's not great, but it's just what we have to do for the time being. On Vlad, it's definitely armor, no chance it's anything else. Restart Life and Death. Now, right now, everyone just hates me to bits. Even people I've made deals with, like Averlin, hate me to bits, but I have a non-aggression pack, so I'm safe for a little while longer. Once I get 4 more blood kisses, I can get plus 30 rep with all of the humans. And Vlad is currently level 7. At level 12, we unlock this, and by saving a point, we can get mortal levies with it as well. For plus 40 with Empire. We can fix this. It's going to be fine. We're gonna build another Gibbet down here. I don't care about growth at all in these territories, really. I just need to fix my income. Same deal here, although it's not done yet. This is probably... I'm not trading with anyone. That's awkward. I'm going to demolish that to make a gibbet, because I actually think it'll be better. Upgrade Templehof. And over here, upgrade this settlement as well. I want all of these to 2 before this goes to 3, and then all of these to 3 before this pushes to 4 and 5. I think in the long run, since it takes so long to get to 5 and start making Varghulfs anyway, the economic benefits of it are tremendously outweighing, like, the maybe 5 turns faster Varghulfs tops.
This night.
And I realized that both of these guys have movement left and literally no reason not to be in channeling stance. And there's nothing left to do this turn, so we're gonna end it here. Get through turn 6, and at the start of turn 7, we'll pick up next time. For now, I've been Rather Incoherent. Thank you for watching. I hope you're having as much fun with this game as I am. I'm really enjoying my time learning Warhammer 3. In spite of all like the weird issues where it feels like I'm playing a mod for a game that's still in testing and not like a AAA game that's been out for a year, there's like a lot of minor UI stuff in Warhammer 3 that feels like it shouldn't be in a AAA. I'm enjoying the game. I'm enjoying pissing on the game too. It deserves it. There's no excuse for being in the state multiple DLCs after launch.
Quest has been issued.
Oh cool, I got a quest. I was trying to do an outro, but I guess I ran with off topic too, so I'll accept that game. We'll worry about this later. The quest I found is pretty hard, but the 2 blood kisses and the item are both really good, and the money. Maybe I'll worry about that next time. Red Eye's dead. They did not last long. Negative growth and... oh, Wurtbad? I don't even care, right? That's this one? Yeah, thank God it wasn't any of my other settlements. So nothing of real importance oh, that is definitely important. We're gonna have a really important major battle at the start of next episode. Holy shit. So you took over all of that. The people who died was this faction. Okay. So like I was saying, I really like Warhammer 3. I'm having a blast with it in spite of its issues. But for now, I'm done. I've been Rather Incoherent. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my one Patreon supporter, Jeffrey B. And I'll see all of you in the next one.